What's going on, people? Today, we're going to talk about that decision. We're going to talk about that moment in time, that moment in your life where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. That moment where you decide to become successful. And there's a moment in everyone's life that this happens. First of all, we got to pay some bills, baby. We will do that. Whoa. All right. So I'm going to take y'all to a certain place. All right. Been working on this all week. Gonna bleed over into next week. The prep course. Go there and get your preparatory education. It's going to improve your finances. It's going to make you business ready. And it's going to take you to a new place. Heavywallet.org. Links below the live stream. Let's get into, you know how I can do this? How many of you seen the movie The Matrix? How many have seen the movie The Matrix, right? You saw The Matrix and they went to the Oracle and she said, "Kid, you ain't the one." But everyone who watched The Matrix knows that he became the one. And there was a moment where Trinity got in trouble and he decided to become the one. See, the whole movie, he was just not fully convinced. Neo was like, "You're the one, you're the one." He's like, "I don't know, dog. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the one." But in that moment, he made that decision. In everyone's life, there comes this moment where you're going to make a decision, where you're going to stop half stepping, where you're going to stop playing around. You're going to make that movement. And I'm going to tell you, that moment for me was the last time I got laid off. I had been through a lot. And the guy was like, "We got to let you go. I can get you 2 more weeks." And I said, "No, I will leave now." See, I was ready to make that decision. So I went back to my little room and I began to use my mind. I began to really think, all right, I don't ever want to be laid off again. How can I go ahead and set that up? And I began to think. And I sat down and I came up with a game plan. What was my problem? I didn't have the references to get a good job. Now, let me go ahead and just say this. I didn't have the references to get a good job. I didn't have the references. I had the skills. I had the ability, but I didn't have the references to get a good job. So during my conjuring and figuring out stuff, I came up with a plan. I was like, well, they'll check me out, but they don't. I don't even know how I knew this, but when they check you out, they don't check out your references unless they're doing like a government background check. So I sat down, I came up with a plan, and I executed. And that began my journey for Rent-A-Crate, Panel Systems Unlimited business environments. For the first time in a long time, because when I was in the medical industry, one job could easily pay for all the stuff I needed done. But what happened was I got a job that was fancy. And I remember so many things were happening because the money was one thing, but I got to meet people. I got to network with folks who were really smart. And all that stemmed from one decision. One that I made that day in dude's office at Peachtree Center. And I decided, I'm going to go now. And I began thinking, so when are you going to make that decision? When are you going to make that decision to stop half-stepping, to stop playing around? Because here's the good news. As long as you are breathing, as long as you're healthy, you can make a go of it. I believe I was 32, 31 when I got on this journey. And for many people, I often see in the comments, like, am I, they're 40, they're 50. Am I too old? Colonel Sanders started Kentucky Fried Chicken when he was in his 60s and 70s. See, part of the reason that many people don't make the decision is a belief in false narratives. Like, take dating. There are many black men who are handsome, muscular, who don't think white women would be interested in them. And there are many white women who are cute and attractive who don't think that black guys would be interested in them. They're operating on these false narratives. There's so many people who are underperforming because they believe in these false narratives. Fester, that's interesting. There are many people who are operating on these false beliefs. Another false narrative. The only way I can get ahead is go back to college. That's a false narrative. Every day here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, we see teenagers becoming millionaires who don't have years and years of experience. Some of them only literally have a few weeks, a few months. The ones who are making $1 million, $2 million, they have a few years under their belt. But we have so many people who are operating under false narratives, who are operating under this delusion that they can't do X, Y, and Z. And that is a big, big issue. So when are you going to make that decision? When are you, yes, you, going to make that decision? Because what happens is once you make that decision, then that preps you to make more decisions. Because see, this is what happened. I made that decision, which was not a monetary decision, but it ended up in me getting a lot of money. I was just sick and tired of living the way that I was living. I was just sick and tired of living that life, hoping someone would give me a job. And if they gave me a job, hopefully they would keep paying me for showing up and performing. I just got to my limit. So let's make 2020 your year that you make the decision that you put on your big boy pants, you put on your big girl pants, and you make that decision. And it's success starts with one decision, but it's accumulation of many decisions. Like, I made that decision, And it got me out the boarding house. It got me into a good job. When I got on that job, I had to make some more decisions. Like, okay, I don't want them to find me out. I don't want them to know that I just got in here on the humbug. I mean, it was like, I'm going to tell you the story. Essentially, when I went back to that room, I was energized mentally. I had been reading Unlimited Power by Tony Robbins, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph E. Murray, and Earl Nightingale Lead the Field. So I had all of that in my mental. And I sat down and I was like, I went to monster.com and I said, I could do this job. 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 I just need a reference. So I went out to this company called VoiceTel because I had a pager. And I set up this voicemail box, something that Google Voice does for free. And I put on this, I had practiced my Indian accent until it was like super good. I could have fooled them. And I left that Indian accent on that voicemail. And that voicemail was my reference. One of the jobs that I applied for called me back, interviewed me 3 times. And then I got a call from the president of the company. He was like, did you get your offer letter? I was like, no. So I got my offer letter, and they didn't check my references until after I signed my offer letter and sent it back. And then my pager went off. Like, do, 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 do. Bzz, bzz, and it was my VoiceTel number. I was like, oh. Y'all, I had to go to a pay phone. This was before cell phones were ubiquitous. I mean, cell phones were out, but I didn't have a cell phone. So I had to go to a pay phone at a busy intersection at Cleveland Avenue and Sylvan Road. That was the only pay phone that was there. I had to walk down there to the pay phone. And I got on the phone with them, and they asked me 2 questions. Did he work for you, and would you hire him back again? In my little weak Indian voice, I said, oh, yes. He was a good worker. I was trying to go on. They only asked me 2 questions, and they hung up. And I got the job. And I was like doing the stanky booty dance in the living room. I was so happy that my plan had worked. How many of you have the audacity to create and execute on a wild ass plan? So I got in Rent-A-Crate, and that forced me to read all of the sales books. I was consuming Brian Tracy, Tommy Hopkins. He was big at the time. This was before Grant Cardone and the Wolf of Wall Street. These were, Brian Tracy. Listening to it in my car, listening to it when I got home. And I was schooling myself because that one decision led to me making better and better decisions. So I made another decision. And the decision was to learn as much as I could and bounce. Because remember, I wasn't getting laid off again. It wasn't happening. So I got that information and I bounced. And went to another opportunity, making more money with a higher commission rate. Was there for a few months, then I bounced again. And let me tell you how I bounced again. At Rent-A-Crate, I got to go to trade shows. We had a van. I got to drive the van, and I got to drive the van home. And I met this chick at Neocon. And see, once you start making decisions, they start opening doors. doors left and right will open up off of that one decision. And, Neocon was a trade show for facility managers where people come in. We would try to sell them our product, talk to people. And I met this chick one night because they had open bar at Neocon. After the show was over, we would meet at this fancy hotel. And there was this one little cute girl. She was drunk off her butt. And I looked out for her. And her company had got her a room upstairs. And I took her upstairs. And I put her on the bed and she passed out. So I spent the night in her hotel room in the chair. And she woke up. You know that look like you looking for your cell phone? She woke up like that. She's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "You're okay. You okay, Lynn? You just got drunk last night." She said, "How drunk did I get?" Like, you just laid on the bed and passed out. And, she realized that I had looked out for her and she looked out for me. Because I remember one of the reasons I started hanging with her was like, she whispered in my ear. She said, "Hey there, cutie. I made $184,000 last year selling office furniture." And I was like, I need to know this chick. I need to know this chick. And I attached myself to her. And through that connection is how I got the job at Business Environments. Because she used to wholesale to them. So once you make that all important decision, your whole life is going to change. Your whole life is going to elevate. One of the things that you guys have got to understand is, like the first year and a half I was in that boarding house, because I was there almost 3 years, I was just trying to shape stuff up. I was wallowing in misery. I was like, my God, why have you forsaken thee? I was like, why am I here? Why am I living in this boarding house? And I had to sort through all of that stuff. And then the second half I was in there, I was on escalation in education. And once I began to seek out solutions to my problem, this is why I say the stuff I say about red pill men and MGTOW men. I was there. I used to behave the same way. Whine, be upset, complain, seek out other miserable people. And I began to escalate. So once, and like, I know Lynn to this day. And when I was at Business Environments, because Lynn, she just told the owner of the company, "I know this great guy. He'd make a great salesperson for you." Literally, she walked me in because I did not take advantage of her. Could have easily tapped that. She was that drunk. She would have did anything. But I looked out for her, and then Lynn also, consequently, as we discussed, had a drinking problem. And she says, "I got to stop drinking so much." So Lynn went to AA. And I helped her with her sobriety. I think she's been sober for good 18 years now. So one of the things that you guys have got to do is start making these good decisions. And I'm here to tell you that once you start making good decisions, your life is not going to immediately change. Because the carnage of all of the bad decisions takes a while to get out your system. Networking goes a long way. It's just as important as sales and marketing for business. Absolutely. And, I was a networking maven because how I got the job at Panel Systems, the guy who was one of the owners of Panel Systems was in one of my networking group. So I was able, because Brian Tracy, he put this out here. He said fully 80% of the good job market is hidden. He put this out years ago. He's like, you're never going to get these jobs unless you know somebody or a recruiter calls you. This was like back then. Can you imagine what it's like now? If you don't know anybody, you ain't getting in. I got a friend that has gotten every job he's had through his network, and these are $112,000 to $180,000 a year jobs. Daniel, can I ask you a question? What should I do if I'm not an American citizen? If you're living in America, you should be working on becoming an American citizen. And also, depending upon your visa, can you make money? Because a lot of visas do not allow aliens to work. So, back to the decision. Once you make this decision, you're going to feel some kind of way, because I want you to look at where I was when I made this decision that literally changed the landscape of my life. I was living in a boarding house. I was living paycheck to paycheck. And in that moment, I had the clarity to realize that if I didn't do something different, it wasn't going to change. It wasn't going to change. It wasn't going to get any better. It was not going to change. And that's the reason that I made that decision, and I created that Scheme Incorporated, and I did the things I did. Because, many of you can have wonderful lives 2 to 3 years from now. Yes, 2 to 3 years from now. It's not going to be in a week. It's not going to be in a few months. It's not going to be an Omni and the Hellcat come up. Dude was delivering pizzas 3 years ago. Now he's a multimillionaire. You know how rare that is? It's been done. There are people who are making more money than he was. But, like I said, male to male, definitely about what you know first, about who you know first, not about what you know. Yeah, I got walked in on that job. Dude didn't even look at my resume. And this is one of the things that people got to understand about the job market. If you're not networked in, you're screwing yourself. If you don't have a good, strong network and you're not meeting people and building relationships and you looking for a job, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's like what Melly Mel says. It's not about what you know. It's about who you know and who knows you. And more importantly, if they like you. I remember I gave Lynn a birthday card because this was part of the whole scheme. Giving people birthday cards, finding out the date of your client, sending them a birthday card. And I remember, because I had to go to the office and look at some stuff, and I just dropped a card off in her office. She wasn't there. And she came in and she saw this birthday card, and she hugged me so hard, her nipples pointed in my chest. She's like, thank you. And 6 weeks after that, I had the job at Business Environments. BK from Rockets. I was told by Tuskegee Airmen long ago, it's 10% about what you know, 20% who you know, and the other 76 just plain luck. I would disagree with the luck. Because the luck didn't get me into this path. It was a decision, and it was execution. So I would say, it's about maybe 10%, 20% about what you know, and 70 and 80% about who you know. 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 So one of the things that you guys have got to understand is you got to make that decision, and you got to stop playing around, because you right here, like, let me tell you what's out here for you. Like, I had a heart attack and a stroke. You notice my life did not change. I just disappeared for a little while I was rehabbing. I didn't lose nothing. There are people out there who are going to have that heart attack. It's called a widowmaker. They're going to have a complete blockage, and they're going to lose everything. I'm telling you, like, one of the reasons my ex freaked out is, like, she didn't figure out how bills were going to be paid. And she saw Superman exposed to kryptonite, because before that, whatever went down. And then she saw her security, and she booted. She got gone. And, but the thing is, Superman had his fortress of solitude, and I had some gold bars up in the solitude, and she didn't know about that. But once again, you as a person are getting older and older each day. You're getting older. If you live long enough, you're going to be old. Daniel, I'm not talking about getting married. Do it the right way. It's not fester, it's not luck, it's called alignment. 50% of the battle is just showing up. So, one of the things that, with the decision, you got to grow up, because there's a lot of people who are in perpetual adolescence. They, like, it used to be, we would grow up and there was like rites of passage. You would graduate high school, you get your first job, you get your first little girlfriend, you get married, you have kids. These were normal benchmarks for American life. Then feminism came in and screwed all that up. And LG, I came to that conclusion myself. So we got to grow up, because I don't care if you're 18 years old right now when you get this message. In X amount of years, you're going to be my age. It's going to happen. Daniel, do it the right way. Don't go out and get married to get your citizenship. I'm not going to advise that. And hopefully, Trump will be gone during the next election. But once again, you guys have got to make the right decision. You guys have got to get on it, because, like, what I'm doing with this prep course, because I knew that when I started creating it, that the prep course wasn't going to be popular, because people don't like to do the hard work. And I'm screaming at you. I've got the data, I've got the information of why people are not successful, because they don't prepare. Because, it just used to bug me. It's like, why did this student kill it in this course and this other student did not? And then when I would look at who killed it, they were already a year or two down their business path. And the folks who have not gotten on their business path were just overwhelmed. Because I know this is the internet. I know that there are many people out there that will tell you that you can be making 100K a month, that you could be making 200K a month from nothing, just the way you are with their course. And I'm here to tell you that ain't true. That's just not true. You're going to have to go through a process of grooming and self education to get there. And it's a process, it's a grooming process. And many people just don't get it. A lot of people just don't get it. They don't understand. And they're playing games out here because here's the deal: class is real. And you got many people out here like Alex Becker just went minimalist. And I don't know Alex, but I have watched Alex, and Alex is a really smart guy. Alex realized that if he showed a $40,000 Rolex and a Ferrari, that would get him attention, and it did. And first you must get attention before you could sell someone something, and it got him attention, and he's doing it again, and he's moved over to the minimalist life. And a lot of people, and I'm going to say it, there are very few people who come to minimalism on their own. There's some kind of lever, and the lever is usually economics. There might be one person who's well off, who's just like, I don't need a lot. That's one in a million. All these folks out here who are minimalists, they're minimalists, the majority of them, because of economics. And many people like to claim minimalism so they can be like, they're just like me. We're the same. No, you're not. No, you're not. Fester, I had no idea a few years back how much I didn't understand about life, business, or relationship. Taylor Wilson, I know someone who knows Alex. He's legit. I knew Alex when he was poor. I've known Alex, like, go back to his channel and look at his first videos when he was in that townhouse. Alex has come a long way. But once again, Alex is very smart, and he knows that this minimalism thing is huge. David Alaleta, his channel blew up on minimalism. Anybody that does a YouTube video talking about their practicing minimalism, they blow up. Van life, they blow up. Why does this happen? Because most people don't have any money. Well, yeah. I'm going to live in a van. That's cool. And I'll save a lot of money. Will Cooper, working 2 jobs, looking to start an online shoe store. What's the best course to take? I don't have a course for online shoe stores. I would suggest that you study everybody that's selling shoes. Anybody, because essentially you should be watching e-commerce videos if you want to sell online shoes, because your first, I don't know where you are in the process, but what kind of shoes are you going to sell? Are you going to be a reseller, or are you going to try to create your own shoe? What are you going to do, boo? Because one of the things I'm going to do, I should talk about that now, is next year I'm going to be creating a lot of online training. It's going to be very different. And I've never started an e-commerce store. I've sold on Amazon, I've sold on eBay, but I've never, well, actually, that's not true. I did have a furniture store for a little period of time. But your whole issue is going to be traffic. And what I got, how I got traffic for my online furniture store was Craigslist. I posted ads on Craigslist and I got a lot of traffic. Thank you, Will Cooper. Not right now. I've been sick, so I got a lot of catching up to do. Daniel, BK Pro, broke minimalist, personal finances exhausted, forced cutbacks. Pretty much. That's where a lot of these people are, man. Because like Alex, let's talk about Alex Becker. Alex is very, very smart. And he doesn't do stuff that doesn't impact his business. He bought the Ferrari, he bought the Rolex for his business. In this minimalism move, he's seen the channels blow up on minimalism. He knows that that's a way for him to get more attention. And there is a culture of people who hate successful people who flex, which is kind of surprising. I guess because Omni and the Hellcat was such a nice dude, he didn't get the real hate. But there are folks out there, you a millionaire, you buying a new car, screw you. You know, he didn't get that hate. Thomas Stevenson, what's your thoughts on trading or network marketing side businesses? Should I do it? I don't know. Should you do it? Do you like it? Have you investigated? Have you looked at it? I will tell anyone that's thinking about a certain business, immerse yourself in that business. Watch every YouTube channel about those businesses. Get to know the business. Because here's the deal. If you just get into some because it sounds like it can make some money, and ultimately at some point you're going to hate that business. Why pick a business that you can ultimately end up hating? The Manny Jones, I got hoodwinked by the whole quit your job, be your own boss narrative in 2007. Now I know better. I think Alex has a serious shroom trip that changed him up. Alex has gotten a little weird lately. He has gotten a little weird. I will say that. But, you know, when you got money, you can do what you want. Alex knows how to run Google ads very, very well. So he can keep the money coming in. So, you know, once again, you shouldn't just get into the decision. Because, you know, I'm sitting here writing my goals for 2020. And interesting little story. Like, I've been having a crazy week because, you know, I started using ClickFunnels and Stripe closed my account. Let me show you. Let me go ahead. This is part of the resilience of being an entrepreneur. All right, so let me go ahead and set this up and just go ahead and take y'all behind the curtains. All right. Just a reminder that we'll no longer be able to accept payments through Stripe beginning 12/7/2019. Let's see. While we hate to give you anything less than a great experience, it does seem that your business is in violation of Stripe's service agreement, Section A7B, restricted businesses and activities. Specifically, we're unable to accept payments for investment opportunities or other services that promise high rewards as mentioned. And we go to this section, right? And I don't do any of those things. I don't do anything. And I've had the like Hustlers Kung Fu, they turned me down for that. So it's weird because whenever I see some young Asian, they can use the word pimp, they can use hustler, they can use these services, and nothing happens. And I've been having this cold. Like today is the first day I felt better in about 4 days. And it's, being an entrepreneur is an exercise in resetting and being resilient. So I've went ahead and had to apply for a traditional merchant account, which is they ask for a lot of stuff just to be able to use ClickFunnels. So hopefully this goes through because I applied for another course, another payment processor, and they turned me down. One of the things about being a hustler is everybody comes after you. Bad Wolf MMA. Christian Guzman just picked up an Audi R8. He knows his demographic dreams of those purchases. The more he spends, the more his company makes. I did not know that. I have not watched Christian in a while. TL Myers, what would be a good idea to start a nonprofit business? Why do you want to start a nonprofit business? I've never talked about starting nonprofits. Why do you want to start a nonprofit and get the government all up in your business? I don't understand. Will Cooper already started selling. Want a better way to manage the money? Cool. Rugged collars, Glennon. You should have heard my trembling voice when I told my manager that I was quitting my job. Very hard decisions need to be made in order to achieve your dreams. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rod for real estate. What do you mean? Could this be some new type of redlining certain YouTubers? What do you mean by that? Because essentially YouTube works on attention. And if you do your videos like Omni and the Hellcat, I'm going to buy a new Lamborghini today. That's interesting. I'm going to buy some new motorcycles today. I spent $40,000 to start a new clothing line. People like that kind of stuff. And one of the reasons that my channel hasn't grown is I'm being very brutally honest with you. I'm saying it's going to take you 2 to 3 years to get your business rolling and get the money coming in. Most folks don't want to hear that. They want to be lied to and have their booties rubbed with lotion. Uh-huh. I don't talk about nonprofits because that's just not my jam. Not interested in nonprofits. Nonprofits and corporations with boards that could take your company is not interesting. Yeah, I know nothing about nonprofits, and it's not something that I really push. It's not my jam. It's not what I do. One of the things I want you guys to understand, T.L. Myers, just a thought. Grant resources for the nonprofit. I do career advisement to teens. My clients can't afford what I charge. Maybe you want to change businesses. Redlining in real estate is not making loans to certain kind of people. Um, I used to think YouTube did that, but I've went through a course and I've seen that that's not the case. Herbert, I watch you and a few others because of your frank, pragmatic approach to business. Absolutely no sizzle or Hellcats. Sky Bevan, that's funny. One of the things that I want you guys to understand is that decision is critical. And once you make that decision, you're going to remember it the rest of your life. One decision leads to many other doors opening up. Because, like, let's talk about age. If you're 40 something to 50 something and you haven't got your ticket punched in corporate America, it's only a matter of time before they get rid of you. And while you're in corporate America making that good corporate money, you should be building your own thing. You should be salting money away. You should be stacking up your chips to build your own escape hatch. Because at some point, they're going to get rid of you. I'm 53 years old. I, since I'm a techie kind of person, I could get a job, doing internet marketing. Plans Boot Camp. Stripe locked me out my account on Black Friday. They said my LLC address didn't match what was on the state website. Whoa, that's kind of ticky tacky. You could have moved and just didn't update your LLC. Can anyone with a holding company even get on the level of competing with huge corporations? Omni and the Hellcat got up to 50 million. BK Pro. I was thinking maybe there's making it hard for certain people who do the same as others, like other investors mention invest, pimp, hustle, clearly talking about what you do. Oh man. I will say with these payment processors, that's definitely going on because there was these Asian guys that had this hustle.com thing and they were using Stripe with no problem. I tried to use it. Stripe shut me down. And Stripe shut me down with disruptive mail. And they just the account was up 3 days and here they come with this. And I'm like, I don't do any of those stuff. And I explained it to her. And nowhere on the site does it say that. But for some reason, they closed it down. And, once again, part of what I know how to teach, I know how to teach men how to be dominant, strong men. I know how to teach people how to make money. I know how to teach this financial stuff. And they all deem this stuff kind of risky. Even though I looked at my chargebacks, my chargebacks for the year was like $2,500 on $1 million in sales. You know how ridiculously low that is? I know people in this industry whose chargebacks hover at 10 and 20%. Because they selling the dream and people like, oh, whoa, this dream ain't real. But, Rod, for real estate, next year we're going to do, I'm making another decision. I'm going to train you guys on how to do so many things. I'm going to open up disruptive mail. I'm going to do some more stuff on this channel. I'm going to do some more stuff in the personal finance space. Ex-wife working for Stripe. No, Stripe is just weird like that. They've been weird like that for years. And I've got open Stripe accounts. It's just because, once again, word of advice, like if you have multiple websites using Stripes, you got to have a different, unique Stripe account for each website. Or they will shut you down because I was using the same Stripe account for 2 of my domains and they closed it. And I was like, really? They don't even tell you. It's like, they don't even give you time to make an adjustment. It's like, hey, we just noticed that you were using the same Stripe account for 2 domains. We don't allow that. We're going to give you 5 days to make a change. No, they don't do that. They just like, kahunka. And everyone is attached to Stripe. Rod, for real estate. Erica had mentioned having some issues like this, but a Graham Stephan type can do about anything. It is it's interesting who can it is interesting. It's very interesting Because like when I found those Asians who was doing something very similar to what I was, and they was using Stripe, I was like, what the? That's going to be mostly people who are making videos for kids. If you're making a YouTube channel for children, I would be very scared right now. Oh, I know who you meant. And you know, the Graham is very interesting because one of the things that that if you're gonna do YouTube, they preach is your thumbnails. His thumbnails are not that exciting. His thumbnails are really not that good. He makes them himself. And one of the things I've noticed is that certain people can do whatever they want, and certain people get pushed up. Because there's this one girl up in Canada. Um, I personally don't like her content, but she got 2 million subscribers in less than a year. And you know, she'll have her parents in there, and she'll be doing this weird dancing and stuff. And I'm like, there's an audience for that content. And then every time I want to get angry or want to lash out, I was like, there's an audience for that content. World Star, there's an audience for that content. Just got a notice from this channel making 45K per week. Oh, I'm very familiar with John Child and Dan Locke. If you are the model that they think is attractive to your business, or you trying to get, well, here's one of the things that happens with this YouTube channel. YouTube has a gate like, regardless of, sometimes I can slip through and they will notify a bunch of people that I'm live. But typically YouTube does not let a bunch of people know that I'm live. There's been a few streams where I got up to 300 or 400, and it is just, this channel is compromised, and this is why I'm building new channels. It's just the weirdest thing, like, because see, YouTube decides, like, even though I have 92,000 subscribers, YouTube does not send a notification to them that I'm live. And, I understand it's their platform and they can do what they want to do, but that just send a subscriber, let them know I got a video. They don't do that. And this is one of the most infuriating things. Appliance Bootcamp. I purchased a new building and haven't updated my information on the state website. They collected the money. Luckily, I have several businesses that carry the load so I can fix it. Yeah, I mean, that's very ticky-tacky. Peril Phoenix, does the payment plan automatically? Yes, it does. Jason, oh hell, I have 6 kids. Let me tell you what videos get a lot of views. Garbage videos. What are your views on guys like Dan Locke? Dan Locke's legit. I like Dan. See, Bad Wolf MMA, I've had all notification bells for you. I never got a live notice. It just happened to be on YouTube and saw. Well, this is how most people find me. YouTube does not let people know I'm live. No, Sky. YouTube has been infuriating. It's late. This says top chat, one person here. Oh man, once again, YouTube just, like, most of the people who catch these live streams just happen to be on YouTube and see them live. Sammy Baker, I get a notification every time you go live. That's good. James Lewis, this drives me crazy. Or would say you put up a video but won't say it's live, so I wait till I'm home to put it on. Boom, halfway through a live. It's been better lately. Oh, like I've been knowing this. Like, it's infuriating because if YouTube just sent 10% of my subscribers notices that I was live, this would be 10,000, 20, 10,000, 12,000 people be here. Dan Locke's channel is doing very well. Dan is doing very, very well. Dan completely revamped his channel. Well, the COPPA thing is not really going to impact me or my channels because I don't make videos for children, but it's going to impact a lot of people who have videos that children watch. Dwayne Reeves, no, that website's not coming back. Let me go ahead. The website was doing fine, and then for some reason the website just disappeared. And I emailed Teachable, and they couldn't fix it. So if you want to access any course there, go to teachable.com and use your login credentials, and they'll take you to the course. I mean, one of the things that I really hate with Teachable is the way that you get to create your own unique domain name. Like Sunny Lenaduzzi, who has a popular course, she did not change the link. She uses the Teachable domain. And I think a lot of people start doing that because you could be halfway during going down the road, then all of a sudden your website will disappear and they can't really help you. I don't like because they use Cloudflare and it's not coming back. But if you got a course there, you can log in to your teachable.com and they'll take you to the course. Each Sense, actually, I've put up a few shorter videos and that they've actually done worse than these longer videos. And I've been doing this for a few years because let me just go ahead and explain to you what happened to YouTube. 2013, YouTube changed. YouTube really began to care about your content. They began to care about you keeping people on the platform. And ever since 2013, I've been having all kinds of problems with this channel. And one of the things is I make money when I send traffic off the platform. If I could have a better YouTube channel, but I would make 90% less money. So one of the things that, is happening is I'm taking the YouTube course because I'm going to go through it again and I'm going to put some more stuff out because YouTube, even with all of its problems and issues, it's the best thing going. It is. Teachable's a little bit better, but I don't like the way that you set up your unique domain name because I've had the unique domain name set up on Thinkific, and they've been good ever since. And we're talking about going on 5 years. Teachable, one day it just domain disappears, and this is one of the things you really hate when you're doing online business, when something breaks and you've done nothing to it. I didn't tweak it. It just broke. And I'm like, what's going on? And they couldn't tell me and the website went down and I'm like, oh God. So I just canceled the payments and let it go and just moved the course over. But once again, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you use Thinkific or Teachable or whatever. The websites are roughly the same. They cost roughly the same. Your main issue is going to be getting traffic. Solve that first. Don't even worry about Thinkable or Teachable. Like I'm using ClickFunnels to create the new course, and it's a different, interesting thing. Is the YouTube and the course dashboard? What do you mean, Rod, for real estate? Apple Mac, that's why I have these websites because, I get to control this thing. Bad Wolf MMA, a lot of people are lazy. Because see, YouTube has a learning curve. First of all, I'm going to show you this chick. I'm going to show you the power of YouTube. Let me find her. Let's see. She did not pop up. I'm going to see if I can find this chick because it. She is not popping up. She normally pops up. I can't actually find her. Or she's not popping up. But essentially, she's a lesbian truck driver. She started her channel 6 months ago. And oh, here we go. I put in lesbian truck driver and that like this chick. These videos are absolutely about nothing. And it's got 92,000 views. If you are trans or gay or lesbian, YouTube will blow you up. I mean, she's just like, hey, this is Casey fam, this with another video. And I mean, look at these titles. She's just talking about her job in this video. Female truck driver, U.S. Foods, 36-foot trailer. 138,000 views. Backing, fueling, uncoupling, trucking part. Female truck. This is just a video of her backing up her truck and unhooking it. 118,000 views. My girlfriend rates my bikinis. Surprisingly, that only has 83,000 views. And she just started this channel 6 months ago. You know, YouTube can be so frustrating when you see something like that because her videos ain't about nothing. But I guess they're relatable. I guess that's it. Junie, I bought Graham Stevens' YouTube course and learned a lot. I finally had the courage to post my first YouTube video. I feel like because YouTube changes so much, I might buy Erica's course next year. All right. Oh, no, I haven't even started on the YouTube course. All right, Junie. Bad Wolf, lesbian truck driver. That has a lot going on. Truck Brown is a solid YouTuber as well. She ain't really that cute, Each Sensei. It's now I'm telling you, if you're gay are trans and you start a YouTube talking about your gay or trans life, it's going to blow up. I don't think she has a campsite. It's not about the truck. It's about thirsty guys and lesbos looking. It's just people looking for some girl on girl action. Well, her and her girlfriend have another channel, and one of the things is what I've learned is you've got to do YouTube a certain way. Now, you will see this with my new channel, which I have not updated this week because I've been sick. Herbert Scott. This is one of the things that's very interesting. Sonny has a YouTube course. Graham Stevens has a YouTube course. I know someone that has taken several channels to multi-million subscribers that none of these people have ever taken, and no one ever thinks about this person whenever they mention YouTube. It's funny. YouTube true gays blow up all the time. Like Jeffree Star. He's got, what was Jeffrey got? Like 16 million subscribers. And he's a gay guy. Jeffree Star. 16 million subscribers. Does Jacqueline Comics deserve a second chance? Highlighter collection review. 7.3 million views in a week. $25,000. I love how Jeffrey, a millionaire, understands how pricey $49 is. Once again, man, it'd be crazy out here. That is wild. So once again, there's a whole bunch of things that no one really talks about with internet marketing, like Stripe closing your account. And like, I've had this email from them before, and what they say that I didn't do. And there ain't no talking to them. But like, I sent back, we don't do that. We don't have those. And they were like, unfortunately, our whatever, and they won't tell you what triggered it. They will not tell you at all what triggered it. So it gets to be that. So we will see how the new channel does. And then once I get better and get onto it. Because the thing is, I want you guys to understand, I made a decision that 2020 is going to be vastly different than this year. 2019 was a good year. Except a heart attack. That was bad, but other than that, it was a good year. And there's some things that I'm going to do next year that I'm going back to how I used to do stuff. And I'm building funnels with ClickFunnels, creating a new course, creating a new YouTube channel. Plus, I got to let me show y'all this. I'm getting ready to start this series on this is coming to Disruptive Mail. The Sofa Chronicles. I'm going to start telling a lot of stories on Disruptive Mail. That's how I started the YouTube channel. That's how I started talking about what I got in storage. There was a ton of stories. I mean, pretty much the first 4 years were just stories. And I sold a lot of products. So the Sofa Chronicles, I'm going to be talking about my Craigslist stories in great detail. but somewhat where I could still possibly run ads on it because if I don't mention certain things, I should be able to get away with it. Because one of the reasons that I'm doing um, stories is, let's go here to YouTube. Stories resonate. Um, this is why I'm going back to stories. Dating women. What happens when you have sex with a pregnant woman? My first time. This video has done very well, considering, you know, it's just done well. And it's because it's a story. And once again, you got to understand that YouTube operates on stuff that's interesting. Most people are bored. Most people who come to YouTube are just looking for a distraction from their boring ass life. And I'm about to give it to them. So I'm going to start the Sofa Chronicles. Each since they were employees, man, they gone. Jericho, you got to really be pissed off and determined to level up for success. That could be true. Bubblegum. Bad Boy M&A 2020. I'm putting up 3 days a week. The goal is to grow a digital subscription business for my fitness and MA around my brick and mortar. YouTube takes, yeah, I mean, it does. Flash wave, you never know. I felt bad, Ricardo. What kind of stupid question is that? How did you feel when you have a heart attack? Shit hurt. Herbert Scott, I always remember the stripper unit story. No, I haven't watched Jenna Marbles. Well, once again, what's planned is a Rich Folks of Atlanta Christmas. Uh, I just got to make the time to do it. T-Tone, I used to go to market seminars that said facts tell, stories sell. Pretty much. Junie, 2019 was hell on earth for me. Never again. I'm changing my life around, getting my CCN cert and doubling my income in one power move. All right, girl, go ahead and do it. Do that. Make it shine. And, like, as frustrating as YouTube is for me, I still make more money per month than the average person makes in a year. And, I looked at my PayPal summary today and I was just kind of shocked. So, what I'm going to do for 2020, I'm moving. I plan on tripling my income. I plan on getting in rental, real estate. So there's a lot that's going. And like, it's just kind of bummed me out that I got sick this week because I'm like, there was days I absolutely did nothing. I mean, I know that I have a cold, and like there was 3 days I just stayed in bed all day, and I'm grateful to have the ability to do that and nothing get cut off. I'm getting better. I feel much better. The Wakanda nationalists, man. They came for me in that video. But once again, the content's going to change because, like I said, I'm getting ready to do a lot because I got a lot of stories. I mean, I got stories for days. And, stuff that just happened to me because this is going to be a playlist on Disruptive Mail. The Sofa Chronicles. A lot of stuff literally went down on that sofa. And that's the last apartment that I ever had. And I'm telling you, the things that went on down, man, good Lord. And I just got to sit back and jog my memory because, once again, this story, what happens when you have sex with a pregnant woman for the first time? And I still remember that experience because she had some tight coochie. It was like, good Lord, I need a shoehorn to get in this. And it was just an experience. So I'm going to start talking about stories, and, there's a lot of stuff that's coming. I'm kind of sad that football season's coming to an end, but I'm kind of glad because I'll start getting my Saturdays back to work. But, I mean, I'm telling you guys, YouTube is where it is. How come you don't hire a developer to create a teaching platform? Did you find ClickFunnels? Well, okay. Let's take the reason I signed up for ClickFunnels. When people go to Hustlers Kung Fu, and let's just do this real quick. When people go to Hustlers Kung Fu, they get lost. And one of the things I learned about ClickFunnels is ClickFunnels will direct people straight to where you want them. So I'm just going to build out ClickFunnels funnels to each of these programs. Like I said, I got to finish up the prep course, which I knew wasn't going to get it. I'm actually surprised I sold as many as I did because people just don't want to hear that. It's just like everybody's in a hurry to be rich or to have that good life, and people just don't want to put any preparatory work into it. The prep work is everything. So I'm going to do ClickFunnels because I can do a ClickFunnel for each one of these bundles and lead people to the bundle. Because see, whenever I say that the website's Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, I get people who just go to the website. I don't care what I say in the video. They just go to the website. And they're like, man, where do I start? What do I take? What should I be doing? And they get confused. And then they're like, okay, confused people don't buy. So that's why I'm doing ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels has been proven, to get people where you want them. And also, like, hiring a developer, okay? Let's talk about hiring a developer. When you start hiring people to do certain things and to build websites, that is very time consuming. Because first of all, you got to find someone that will do the work correctly. That's a big issue with hiring developers. I remember I hired a guy for a client to build a website, and he just disappeared for 2 weeks. Site half built. Oh, I had to go to South America to do something, but I'm back now. So hiring developers, that sounds simple, but I'm telling you from experience, it ain't as easy as you make it sound like it is. Art Arson, I had that experience. My wife looking at me crazy right now. Okay. Once again, I'm going to use ClickFunnels. You will see, because this is going to take me months to do. And that's the plan. And like, see, this is something else that pisses me off about YouTube. YouTube does not let people know that I'm live because I got 138 people watching. Appreciate you. But most of y'all just found it out that was live because you happen to be on YouTube. If YouTube would start sending people notifications, I would have lives of 10,000 people if they would send notifications. There'd be 10,000 people on these lives. the thing would be scrolling like crazy. And YouTube does this for other people. Like Omni and the Hellcat, when he did his live, talking about he got raided by the FBI, I think he had like 80,000 people in his live. So they sent, out of his 500,000 subscribers, they sent notifications to 80 or more thousand subscribers. So, YouTube, and once again, I made a lot of mistakes with this channel, and I didn't understand YouTube. So in the next few years, I will be building out more channels. And, it's just, knowledge is everything. Because like I said, like many of you, I thought YouTube was surrogating. YouTube put up a fence around people. Also, YouTube, as someone says, keeps changing. It used to be if you went away and you disappeared, your channel would die. That's not the case anymore. Cody Tolman, I didn't get a notification for this live. Oddie Link Entertainment, that doesn't work. We've got people on this live right now who've hit the bell, who's done all the stuff, and they're still not getting notifications. Yep, I had major communications problems with my East Indian website developed back around 2012. Very time consuming and energy draining. Herbert, I have to check my inbox. Applied knowledge is everything. Yeah. Because see, one of the things that we're about to get into, because I haven't started this channel because, I got a lot on my plate because I'm going to start a personal development channel. So that's going to be coming. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Plus, keep disruptive mail from a monetary standpoint is one of my most successful channels because it doesn't take that much. And that's why I'm getting ready to start doing the Sofa Chronicles and just start talking about these experiences and writing them down and just going through it. Because seriously, I'm an okay looking dude, but for the amount of trim, and this is something that I've had an issue with exes. I remember one, she's just like, that's so base. And I'm like, you fell for it. Because, one of the things that some chicks are really crazy about is they want to act holier than thou. And I can tell you the number of chicks who brought up me wearing a condom on one hand. I can tell you that I've gotten with chicks who, well, I normally don't do this, and they did it. And it's just, they get so sanctimonious. They get like, like my ex, she called me a sex addict because she was talking to someone I used to deal with, and she had all these lies. And I'm like, and the person she was talking to, she knew me, and it's like, he works too hard to be having that much time. And it's just like, she dragged my name through the mud and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, you remember how we met? And people want to act like, that these things don't matter. We did not meet at a tea party drinking tea and eating cookies. We didn't meet like that. Ernest Boss, that's good to hear. I wish everyone got notifications on their cell phones and computers. Yeah, the developers, man, it ain't easy because literally if I wanted someone to build a website, I'm looking at spending $5,000 to $10,000 2 to 3 months in advance before I can even use the website. Apple Mac, I had text notifications. And once again, because I had text notifications, it's like, well, we can't do text notifications to finance channels, and we cannot do text notifications to channels that have porn on them. I'm telling you, these companies are so weird because I'm like, I don't have any porn. And they shut me down. Let me see if I can find that email. I don't even remember the name of the company because I had a text, and it's like whatever I talk about, the payment processors and the text notification company, because I'm like, I'm not selling any financial products. And they keep hitting me with that, but I don't do loans. I don't offer credit. I don't do investments. And they keep hitting me with that. It's just weird. It's just wild. Eat sense. You're definitely right about women acting sanctimoniously, acting like they didn't put out the first night. I know, right? All right, Art. Good Lord, Herbert. That's wild. But once again, it these are problems to be solved. And just like I went ahead and signed up for a merchant account today, because the PayPal things, some of them go through, and some of them the money just goes into the air. I don't think these transactions are being completed. So I'll find out about that next week and get that up and going. And I'm gonna just be building these funnels. Because see, the thing is, you just got to keep going. Like if I talked about the stuff that went wrong, like this week, Stripe closed down their case. I got a cold. I couldn't work for 3 days. Um, it's just a normal part of being an entrepreneur because I'm like, okay, then I applied for two online, and they got weird because the thing is, this one merchant account, they offer high risk merchant account processing, so I should be good with them. And it's to me, it's a small price to pay to be free. It's a very small price to pay to be free because I had a heart attack this year. I had a stroke. I was up in the hospital for weeks. And then I came home and I couldn't work for a few months. And all I was just sitting around here just watching television and getting better. You know what a blessing that was? Because there are so many people who had that same heart attack that a lot of these people had to file bankruptcy. A lot of these people lost their jobs, lost their cars. And, it gets to be that way. You should sue them. I'm not going to sue them, man. That's just a waste of good money. Because, see, here's the reason I can't sue them. Because when I signed up with them, I signed up for their terms of service. And I guarantee you, in their terms of service, they have language spelled out. They can do whatever they can do. Next, Mo. And I'll have to look into that because I'm pretty much sure that all of them have the same things. But you never know. but I'll investigate that. I'm quite sure there's some service out there because, like I said, I'm going back to the way I used to do stuff. I got my Power Six list here, working on some things. Definitely going to, you're going to see some improvements because this channel right here has just kind of lost its way. And I'm going to start doing different kind of content on this channel, and we will see. We will see. All right. I will talk to you savages later. Everyone have a great weekend. If y'all don't hear from me, have a good one.